No player has generated more polarizing opinions than Colorado's star quarterback and son of the legendary primetime, Shedeur Sanders. Some analysts call him the most NFL-ready quarterback in the class, while others question if he's just riding the wave of his father's fame. But strip away the noise, the primetime spotlight, and the swagger, and what's left is a quarterback with a serious game that most NFL fans haven't truly seen. Here's what you need to know about Shedeur Sanders, and honestly, it's not what most people think. Frenzies, let's dive in. Shedeur's college journey began with a decision that raised eyebrows across college football. As a four-star recruit, he originally committed to Florida Atlantic, passing up offers from powerhouses like Alabama, Georgia, and LSU, because he wanted to play for a black head coach. But when his father accepted the head coaching position at Jackson State, Shedeur flipped his commitment to follow him. Now, this move made a lot of critics raise their brows. They immediately dismissed it as nepotism, predicting he'd be in over his head against even FCS competition. What those critics missed was the monumental challenge that they were taking on. Jackson State was a program with just one winning season in their previous 7 years. So the Sanders weren't walking into a ready-made situation. They were attempting to resurrect a program from the ashes. From the moment Shedeur won the starting job, the transformation began. His freshman season was nothing short of spectacular. We're talking about a 65.9% completion rate, 3,231 yards, 30 touchdowns against just 8 interceptions, and an 11-2 record. To give you some context, Jackson State had won just 11 games total in 3 seasons before his arrival. However, it was his sophomore campaign that silenced any remaining doubters. Shedeur improved in every statistical category: a 70.6% completion rate, 3,732 yards, 40 touchdowns against only 6 interceptions, while leading the Tigers to a perfect 12-0 regular season. No quarterback in Jackson State history had ever put up numbers remotely close to these. Unfortunately, their perfect season ended with a loss to North Carolina Central in the Celebration Bowl. But even in defeat, Shedeur shined, completing 75% of his passes for 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. In just 2 seasons, Shedeur had transferred Jackson State from an afterthought into the premier program in HBCU football. But the Jackson State chapter was just the warm-up. The real test came when Shedeur jumped from HBCU football straight into the Power 5 pressure cooker. You see, when Primetime accepted the head coaching job at Colorado, the college football world exploded. Because for one, it pushed Shedeur to transfer to Colorado. But beyond that, the Buffaloes were coming off a dismal 1-11 season, a Power 5 program that had completely lost its way. Once again, the Sanders were tasked with a near impossible rebuild. Critics were louder than ever. Moving from FCS to the Big 12 was supposed to expose Shedeur. The speed, the competition level, the defensive schemes, all were thought to be too much for a quarterback coming from HBCU. And they were right, because their biggest test came in the form of a season-opening collision with TCU, a college football powerhouse fresh off a national championship appearance. Colorado wasn't just expected to lose, they were written off completely, entering as massive 20-point underdogs in what many predicted would be Shedeur's brutal welcome to Power 5 football. However, what happened next was one of the most stunning upsets in college football history. Shedeur didn't just survive against TCU, he carved them up like a surgeon with an 80.9% completion rate, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 45-42 victory. Overnight, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and Coach Prime became the hottest story in college football. But unlike many overnight sensations, Shedeur backed it up with sustained excellence. Over his 2 seasons at Colorado, he accumulated 7,364 yards, 64 touchdowns, and just 13 interceptions, with a 71.5% completion rate. In 2024, he led Colorado to its first winning season since 2016, was named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. What makes these accomplishments even more impressive is the situation he was working with. Colorado's offensive line was, to put it kindly, a work in progress. Shedeur himself has acknowledged that while he loves his offensive linemen, they weren't always on the same page. Okay, maybe that's an understatement, because in 2023, he was sacked 49 times, and in 2024, he took another 37 sacks. Despite the constant pressure, he maintained elite production and efficiency. By the end of the 2024 season, the same critics who said he'd be exposed against real competition were forced to rank him as one of the top 2 quarterback prospects in the entire 2025 draft class. But here's where it gets interesting. What makes Sheduer truly special isn't captured in the basic stats you just heard. It's what happens between his ears that has NFL scouts hitting rewind on his game film. What separates Sheduer from other quarterback prospects isn't his arm strength or his athleticism. It's his elite accuracy and advanced processing skills. In 2024, Sheduer led the nation with a 74% completion rate, and this wasn't inflated by a system of bubble screens and dump-offs. His adjusted completion percentage, which accounts for drops, throwaways, and other factors outside a quarterback's control, was an incredible 82.5%. For context, that's higher than any quarterback in this draft class, including Cam Ward, who is currently number 1 on the draft board. But it's not just about completing passes, it's where he puts the ball. Film studies show Sheduer consistently placing passes where only his receivers can make plays, leading them into open space for yards after catch when possible and protecting them from big hits when throwing into tight windows. His success rate against different coverages is equally impressive. Against man coverage, Sheduer posted an 81% success rate, while his success rate against zone coverage was a remarkable 90%. These numbers eclipse his draft class rivals by significant margins. This level of precision is not an accident. It's advanced mental processing that 99% of college quarterbacks simply don't have. And you can see that in how he mastered the full pro-style system that was put in place by Pat Shurmur, the former NFL head coach who became Colorado's offensive coordinator. We're talking pre-snap reads, full field progressions, protection adjustments, the complete NFL package. Unlike many college quarterbacks who rely heavily on RPOs and simplified reads, Sheduer was making NFL-level decisions play after play. Colorado's offense wasn't hiding his weaknesses, it was showcasing his strengths. His toughness cannot be overstated. Despite taking a beating behind Colorado's struggling offensive line, Sheduer showed remarkable resilience. There's a play against Utah where he takes a massive hit, gets up limping, but stays in the game and delivers a perfect 27-yard strike on the very next play. That's the kind of mental and physical toughness that translates directly to the NFL. However, what's most impressive about Sheduer's game is his ball security. Despite facing constant pressure, he posted a turnover-worthy play percentage of just 1.3% in 2024, the 3rd lowest among quarterbacks who played at least half the season. For comparison, Cam Ward's rate was 3.3%, reflecting his more aggressive gunslinger approach. And about that supposedly questionable arm strength, well, the numbers on passes traveling 20-plus yards downfield tell a different story. 1,184 yards, 14 touchdowns, and just 1 interception, earning a 94.8 grade on such throws. Cam Ward's numbers on deep passes were nearly identical, 1,148 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, and a 95 grade. But wait, if Sheduer is so good, why isn't he the consensus number 1 pick? Well, the answer is simple. Like many prospects in his draft class, Sheduer has flaws, and unfortunately those flaws have raised valid concerns that have some NFL teams hesitating. The most obvious one is that Sheduer takes too many sacks. As mentioned earlier, he was sacked 49 times in 2023 alone, which happens to be the 2nd most in the nation, and 37 times in 2024, the 5th most. While Colorado's offensive line deserves much of the blame, film study reveals Sheduer sometimes holds the ball too long, hoping for the big play instead of taking the check down or throwing the ball away. In the NFL, where defensive linemen are bigger, stronger, and faster, this tendency could lead to turnovers, injuries, or drive-killing sacks. Quarterbacks with similar issues have struggled early in their NFL careers until they learn to get the ball out quicker. Then, there's the question of physical tools. Around 6'2" and 215 pounds, Sheduer doesn't have the prototypical 6'4", 230-pound frame that some teams go for. His arm strength, while sufficient, isn't in the elite territory of a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, and his 40-yard dash time won't blow scouts away like Lamar Jackson's did. The reality is that Sheduer has enough arm talent to make all the throws, but we're not talking about a quarterback who's going to drive the ball through tight windows 60 yards downfield in bad weather. In the right system, in the right dome, his accuracy makes up for it. But perhaps the most discussed concern about Sheduer is his personality. Terms like brash and arrogant have been thrown around by critics who feel he carries himself with too much sass. Some have questioned whether his confidence crosses the line into entitlement. Don't get it wrong, having confidence is essential for a quarterback, but there's a significant difference between confidence and arrogance. The final concern is his ceiling versus floor. While Sheduer's advanced processing and accuracy give him one of the highest floors in this draft class, some scouts wonder if he's already close to his ceiling. Without elite physical tools, can he evolve into a top 5 NFL quarterback? Or is his upside more limited? Add it all up, the sack issues, the physical limitations, the personality questions, plus the emergence of his former teammate Travis Hunter as a once-in-a-decade talent, and you can see why Sheduer isn't at the very top of the draft despite his jaw-dropping stats. But beyond that, he's an elite player that has characteristics of some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Sheduer combines pinpoint accuracy with toughness and leadership. His ability to dissect defenses pre-snap and make quick decisions mirrors what made Burrow successful at LSU and with the Bengals. The Purdy comparison comes from his ability to distribute the ball efficiently and elevate the talent around him without relying on spectacular physical tools. Like Purdy, Sheduer understands how to maximize his strengths while minimizing his limitations. Now, if you flip to Cam Ward's tape, you find that the difference is night and day. For one, where Sheduer is calculated, Ward is chaotic. And while Ward's ceiling in the Mahomes-era NFL might be higher, his buzz potential is significantly higher too. And that brings us to the million-dollar draft question. Do you take the surgeon in Sheduer, who might top out as a Pro Bowler, or gamble in the wild card in Ward, who could either become an MVP or be out of the league in 3 years? Looking at NFL quarterback trends, there's evidence supporting both approaches. The Patrick Mahomes model of improvisational brilliance has led to championships, but so has the Matthew Stafford model of pocket passing precision. And for every Josh Allen who maximizes his physical tools, there's a Mac Jones who struggles despite being a pro-ready prospect. The key for Sheduer, though, will be landing in the right situation. Ideally, he needs a solid offensive line, especially after what he endured at Colorado, a coach who values precision over spectacular plays, and a system that emphasizes timing and rhythm passing. Now, we've broken down the measurables, the stats, and the film. But there's an X factor here that draft analysts can't quantify: Sheduer's mindset. You see, Sheduer has been playing professional football mentally his entire life. While other prospects are just beginning to understand the business side of football, the media obligations, and the pressure of being a franchise quarterback, Sheduer has been preparing for these realities since childhood. His poise in press conferences isn't an act, it's the result of years of training. His confidence isn't arrogance, it's the belief of someone who's been holding himself to a professional standard long before turning pro. This mentality extends to how he handles adversity. When Colorado struggled in 2023, Sheduer never blamed teammates, never showed up an offensive lineman after a sack, never displayed frustration publicly. That level of professionalism as a college athlete speaks volumes about his character. Perhaps most tellingly, Sheduer approaches football with the mindset of a craftsman, not just an athlete. He understands that his job isn't to show off his arm, it's to deliver catchable balls that puts his playmakers into position to succeed. So what's the final verdict? Well, after 4,000 plus college passes, 2 program transformations, and countless hours of film study, one thing is unavoidable. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another quarterback with a famous last name. He's the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft, despite not being top of the draft board. And while it seems like it, his journey from Jackson State to Colorado wasn't about following his famous father. It was about taking on monumental challenges and succeeding where others had failed. His game isn't built on highlight reel athleticism. It's built on the foundations of accuracy, processing, and leadership that have defined successful NFL quarterbacks for decades. Sure, he slid a little on the draft board, but hey, Aaron Rodgers fell to 24th, Lamar Jackson was QB5 in his class, Patrick Mahomes watched Mitchell Trubisky go before him. Draft position isn't destiny. All he needs to do is find a team that sees his pinpoint accuracy and football IQ as superpowers, not his arm strength as a limitation. Because in today's NFL, where processing speed is the difference between a completion and an interception, Shedeur's mental game isn't just valuable, it's the foundation of a franchise quarterback. Or at least, that's what we think. Let us know what you think in the comments.